Hey everyone, today we're going to review the MSCube MS3L. This cube isn't a super new release, but it has some interesting characteristics that we'd like to show in greater detail. Let's take a look. To get things started, this puzzle measures 56mm across, weighs 75 grams, and has glossy plastic. It's made by MSCube, a newer company led by a former GAN engineer. Two versions of this cube are available, standard and enhanced. The standard version is a conventional magnetic 3x3. It has a green logo and retails for $19.99. The enhanced version is $23.99 and has a pink logo. The special thing about this cube is the magnetic positioning system embedded in the feet of the cube's pieces. These magnets add a small magnet radius inside the cube's conventional one. This creates a similar effect to popular cubes like the GAN 11 and the GAN 12. Those cubes' small magnetic radius comes from the magnetic core. Both cubes have this interesting spiderweb texture on it. This texture was on a previous MSCube release, but this new iteration has it deeper on the pieces. It has a cool 3D look to it. In this review, we'll be mostly talking about the enhanced version. Now let's open it up. You'll notice that there are three sets of tension nuts, green, blue, and purple. Green is the weakest and purple is the strongest. There are 2 tension settings for each color, so we have 6 settings in total. Feel-wise, this cube is crunchy and tactile. Turning multiple layers gives you a lot of feedback. The magnet strength is relatively light. Corner cutting is decent, but the cube can be locky at times. And honestly, this cube comes with a ton of factory lube. I think it's a little over-lubed, but that's just a choice by the manufacturer. Let's hear how the cube sounds. So naturally, a cube with this many new characteristics invites lots of questions. First, is this tension and elasticity feature any good? Is it better than existing features that do roughly the same thing? Second, how much do the magnetic feet contribute to the overall feel of the puzzle? Last, how does this cube compare to other cubes on the market? Curious? Let's explore these questions. To start things off, we weren't too crazy about the tension and elasticity feature. I was curious how long it would take an experienced speedcuber to swap between nuts the first time, so I asked JRCuber to give it a try. After reading the manual, his first try took around 10 minutes. This is what he said.
So yeah, I had a lot of trouble with this tensioning system. Basically, the way you swap the springs is by pushing down on the spring and rotating. The direction you need to rotate to remove the spring is dependent on the tension you have. So if the cube is stock, you'll rotate to the left and this will allow you to remove it. But if you rotate left again, you'll get to the looser tension. And then from here, you would rotate right to remove the spring. And once the spring is loose, you'll then have to figure out how to remove it without pulling the whole layer off, which unfortunately still ends up happening pretty often. Sometimes the center gets a bit stuck, and the force that it takes to get it out just causes the layer to explode. So once you get the center out, you'll then have to line up this hook on the bottom with the small hole in the center, and then you can remove it. And finally, once the spring is out, you have to line up that hole in the bottom of the center with the same hole that you'll find in the core. And if you don't do that, the spring won't go in. So now you can take a different spring and then push it all the way in and rotate left for the looser tension or right for the stronger tension. Was that confusing at all? Because it definitely was for me. Now I have 3 major problems with this design. First, it's incredibly inefficient. Second, it's literally impossible to change the springs without at least removing and touching the centerpiece, which just ends up getting lube all over your hands and inevitably the cube. And third, like I said, it sometimes takes quite a bit of force to get that center to pop out, which, as we just showed, leads to explosions and a lot of unnecessary frustration.
So yeah, this begs the question, why does this exist? Why did this manufacturer create an entirely new system if there isn't any clear indication why it's better? I'm generally not a fan of design that's different for the sake of being different. If it is somehow better, I hope the manufacturer can be more assertive about why it's better. Leaving it up for the customers to figure it out is kind of backwards. Next, onto the magnetic feet. It's cool and it's a legit way to express the idea of having a smaller magnetic radius inside a larger one. However, one problem we had was the magnetic strength. We felt it was too light. It was pretty hard to feel the effect of this new positioning system. On top of that, none of the magnets are adjustable, and that made evaluating the effectiveness of this system difficult. The last question is, how does this cube compare to other cubes on the market? Honestly, I personally don't think it does very well. At $23.99, it's in the same price range as the Weilong WRM 2021 and the Tornado V2M, and honestly, I get appreciably better results on those 2 cubes. Those cubes also have more useful features, like magnet adjustment. I also get similar or better results on some cheaper economy cubes, like the RS3M 2020 and the Yushin Little Magic V2M. This all said, it does take creativity to make designs like this. I personally never thought to design a centerpiece structure that worked like a hook. I also never thought to put magnets in the feet of the cube's pieces. However creative these ideas are, I think it's important for a company to really think about what utility it brings to the end consumer. How do speedcubers benefit from this design? What measures will you take to communicate these benefits to speedcubers? If I had to recommend this puzzle, it would be to cubers who want something different. After all, this cube is the only cube out there with this style of magnet positioning. Also give MSCube a try if you'd like to support a budding new cube manufacturer. This company has just 2 releases, but in each release, MSCube managed to introduce at least one idea that the community hadn't seen before. At the end of the day, as speedcubers, this is what we get excited for. That's what keeps us going. To MSCube, we hope you keep going. Good luck with everything.